A young man dragging his pen quickly on the tablet recalls how, when writing a manga, being embarrassed is not considered a good thing. The main focus of writers is to please the fetishists, and when he started dating Akira, he truly felt that this saying was true. Even though she doesn't get embarrassed, he truly feels that she should hesitate a little. Currently, he is sitting in the studio with his short-term girlfriend, who asks him about the panel he drew. He quickly braces himself, already expecting the compliments he is going to get from Akira. As expected, she keeps praising his style and suggests decorating the background he just created. The young boy, Sakita Koki, is going out of his mind after getting the generous praise from his girlfriend. He only found out about the destructive power of praises from your crush when he started working with Akira, the writer of his favorite manga, Crimson Witch. When he first started working as her assistant, he decided that he would try his best no matter how much she scolded him. To his surprise, Akira has proven to be completely opposite, as she liked to praise every little thing he did. Usually, it would have been an ideal working situation, but whenever she gives him compliments, he gets extremely excited. Despite all the problems, he is determined to not fall in love with her since all the compliments get in the way of his work. Just when he is thinking about controlling his feelings, Akira asks if he is okay since his adorable face is going red. Just hearing the word adorable from her is enough to overwhelm him with embarrassment. He immediately rushes into the washroom to hide. Sitting alone, he starts thinking about how he almost fell in love with her, while she seems to say these things without any real emotion. To her, it all feels scheduled, like something she planned to say, and that thought makes him feel even more unsure. When he comes back out, Akira is standing in the kitchen. Without any hesitation, she asks if he has feelings for her. His mind almost shuts down because of the shock. He tries to recover quickly and explains that he has a strong respect for her. But inside, he's panicking, wondering if she somehow figured out his feelings, even though he doesn't fully understand them himself yet. To his surprise, Akira says it would have been easier if he had feelings for her. Seeing the confusion on his face, she continues calmly, saying that if he chose to date her, she would make sure to keep him happy. His face turns bright red at the confession. Then, Akira gently confesses that she has strong feelings for him and even reveals that her new character is based on his appearance. This is something completely new for her. Even someone like her, who usually doesn't think romantically, can understand now. This is what love is. She asks him what he thinks, but he is so embarrassed that he almost faints. She patiently waits for him to calm down. Once he gathers himself, she asks if he is okay, to which he replies that everything is happening so quickly that he is feeling really flustered. Akira apologizes for saying something so sudden, then adds that if her words made him feel shy, then maybe that means she has a real chance. Finally, gathering a bit of courage, he tells Sensei that he also has strong feelings for her, and that he wants to be with her. Akira is extremely happy to hear this. He tells her he is also really happy while thinking to himself about how it is the first time he has seen a real smile on her face. He gently mentions that there is an issue if they started dating each other. When she asks him about it, he replies that if she kept giving him compliments when they are working, it might affect his performance. This time, Akira also acknowledges the problems, since she really admires his talent and wants the world to see it. Kuki instantly points out how she is doing the praise thing again. Akira gently replies that it really would be a problem since she doesn't actually feel embarrassed. Seeing his confused expression, she calmly explains that she wasn't giving him compliments, she was simply saying what she thought. With that, Kuki finally understands why her words always felt so sudden and unexpected. Akira then tells him to be a little patient, promising to follow his instructions. Kuki quickly tries to explain that he didn't mean for her to take it that way, but she responds that it's okay. She says it's the first time she's doing something like this for her lover and that she already feels happy. Kuki feels overwhelmed with embarrassment again, but deep down, he's filled with joy at getting a beautiful girlfriend. Kuki is aware that Akanabe-sensei follows a strict morning routine where she wakes up at 7 and has her regular coffee and a cigarette. After that, she eats breakfast and then gets ready to start working at 9. Despite knowing her routine, on the second day of their relationship, he got to her house almost 40 minutes before the clock hit 9. Sitting outside her door, he keeps trying to calm himself down. He knows he arrived too early, and now he's just sitting there, wondering if he should find somewhere else to wait. But before he can decide, he's startled by Akira suddenly appearing beside him. Without hesitation, she tells him he should just stay at her house. Still surprised, Kuki quickly asks why she came outside in this cold weather. Akira replies simply, she saw him sitting there. He immediately apologized for disturbing her schedule. But to his surprise, she tells him that she has actually been ready for almost 4 hours. She adds that she was really happy about him coming over, so she ended up getting up earlier than usual. Koki is amazed to find that they were both feeling the same way. Then, gently, Akira scratches his ear and tells him that she likes how caring he is. She adds that since they both love each other now, it's okay for him to come early if it means spending more time together. Soon after, they are sitting inside her house. Akira tells him that she doesn't want to embarrass him by accident, so she asks him to explain the things that make him feel shy. Koki answers honestly, saying that he already feels shy just thinking about explaining it. Then he adds that it's her actions and her casual words, especially the way she talks about love and calls him adorable, that make him feel shy, because in those moments it really hits him that he is dating her. Akira seems surprised. She didn't realize he had such strong feelings for her. Koki quickly asks her not to say things like that. She agrees, but then adds that it's not entirely okay because she's feeling really happy. When she found out about his feelings toward her, it made her so happy that right now, she just wants to kiss him. As she casually starts leaning closer to him, Koki's face turns bright red. Nervously, he responds that he also wants to, but he's unsure if they should be doing something like this right now. He closes his eyes, quietly preparing himself for the kiss. But before it can happen, the alarm rings and Akira immediately shifts into work mode. Koki is left stunned. He still doesn't fully understand her mood or timing. Akira calmly explains that if they started doing things like this, it would be hard to stop. That's why they need to keep their private lives and work lives separate. Koki agrees, trying to focus and get ready to begin working. But he can't help thinking about her mention of doing those things later. Soon they are both sitting in front of their laptops, focusing on the work, when Akira says that since they're in work mode, she'll avoid asking him to draw erotic scenes. Koki doesn't look pleased. He quickly explains that it's not the erotic drawings themselves that make him embarrassed. He says that depending on someone's attitude or manner, it can be awkward, but with Akira, it doesn't affect him in the same way. Even though she agrees, Akira still seems a little worried. She wonders if he'll be okay when he has to draw her as reference. Koki admits that it's a different situation, and quietly thinks about how he would feel drawing her. Even though his face is already resembling a tomato, he insists that he can handle it. Akira seems to understand his feelings. She gently tells him that he doesn't need to force himself, then adds, almost casually, that one day he'll see her anyway. Her bold statement immediately makes him turn completely red. Akira watches him with a small smile, clearly enjoying how flustered he gets whenever she says something like that. In the editing department of Mangaka, Akane Akira is known as the Iron. Her reputation comes from never missing a deadline and always delivering work on time. It's her calm attitude and steady reliability that earned her that title. But right now, she's facing a tough situation. Both Akira and Koki are working quickly on a manga. He suddenly raises his voice, announcing that he's finished his part. Akira responds with calm praise, thanking him for the good work and apologizing for making him stay late. She tells him he can go home now, but Koki refuses. He says he wants to stay until she finishes because he's just as responsible for missing the deadline. Akira tells him that it was actually her fault. She changed half the manga near the end. Koki agrees, saying the sudden change surprised him too. But he adds that the new version fits much better, and he's sure the audience will like it more. He encourages her to keep going, and since he's her biggest fan, he promises to give his best and deliver the most amazing artwork he can. It is almost 1 o'clock in the morning when they finally finish their work. Both feel relieved, knowing that everything is now set up properly for the printing company. Koki says they can relax now, but Akira responds bluntly, it only happened this fast because of him. She then walks toward her bed, saying she's going to get some rest. She tells him to take a taxi home and that she'll pay him back later. As she lies down and falls asleep, Koki quietly walks over to her. He looks at her closely and gently says that this is the first time he's seen her so exhausted. It might not seem like a big deal, but it still worries him. He thanks her politely for all the effort and tells her to rest well so she can recover her energy. Suddenly, she opens her eyes and tells him he should do the same. She adds that he's making her feelings for him even stronger, then calmly asks what exactly he plans to do with her. Startled, Koki quickly hides his face with his hand, surprised that she's awake. Akira sits up on the bed and says that if he hugs her tightly, she'll feel refreshed right away. Koki's thoughts freeze at the mention of a hug, and he immediately refuses, saying he's not ready for that. Akira isn't upset. She simply says that she'll wait for him. Then she gets up and says they should get back to work. Concerned, Kuki reminds her that she needs to rest, but she replies that it's fine because the love she feels from him gives her more energy than sleep ever could. The next morning, Akira visits the publishing company. An editor named Kakami greets her right away, quickly apologizing for making her come all the way there just to deliver the manuscript. Akira calmly replies that it's fine. She would rather come herself and have Kakami visit her house. Surprised, Kakami calls the comment mean and playfully tries to poke Akira's stomach. In response, Akira clenches her fist, saying that she wants to poke her back, but Kakami immediately refuses. Changing the subject, Kakami suggests they smoke a cigarette before getting to work. A short while later, the two are sitting outside the building smoking together. Kakami brings up how rare it is for Akira to fall behind on any deadlines. She also notes that the tone of the latest manuscript felt different and asks if something has changed. Akira replies calmly, she's dating someone now. Kakami is genuinely surprised to hear this and says she didn't expect it at all. Akira agrees, saying it shocked her as well. She explains that when she saw her boyfriend, she suddenly wanted to add more traits and depth to her main character. That change ended up making her story much more enjoyable. Kakami mentions that Akira never seems to get embarrassed but says it's actually a good quality to have. She adds, half-jokingly, that it should have been her job to make those improvements to the manga. Akira, unfazed, simply says she admires Kakami's passion. Kakami brings the topic back to Akira's boyfriend. She says that if someone managed to make such an introverted person open up like this, he must be an amazing guy. When she asks what Akira likes most about him, Akira only replies that it's a secret. Kakami is surprised again. Just the fact that Akira has real feelings for someone seems unusual to her. Akira asks what she means by that, but Kakami doesn't answer. Instead, Akira changes the topic and asks what she can do to confess her feelings in a way that won't make her boyfriend too embarrassed. Kakami looks slightly uncomfortable and admits that she doesn't know. She says she's never dated anyone herself. After another full week of work, Kuki finally feels a little more at ease. They manage to meet the deadline again, and the tension has lifted. He casually remarks how the new character in the story is really amazing and admits that he's already looking forward to working again next week. But instead of commenting on the work, Akira looks at him and asks if he can visit her house tomorrow. He quickly agrees, a little confused, and asks if there's something urgent they need to finish early since they usually don't work on their days off. Akira calmly replies that there's no work. She just wants him to come over so they can spend more time together. The sudden invitation catches Koki off guard. As they part ways, he keeps thinking about how this will be the first time they're meeting privately since they officially started dating. He begins thinking about what he should wear on their first real date, but then another problem comes to mind. How should he address her? Later at home, still unsure, he finally decides to ask her directly. He tells Akira that calling her senior on a private date might sound too formal and awkward, and he wants to know what she thinks would be more appropriate. Akira is surprised and somewhat touched by his thoughtful concern. Kuki admits that he hasn't been able to come up with a suitable name yet. Akira responds gently, saying that she's just happy he brought this up and shared his thoughts with her. When he presses again for her suggestion, she says that she doesn't have a specific name in mind. Feeling a bit nervous, Kuki asks if she's really okay with leaving the decision to him. Akira replies softly that she'll be happy with any name he chooses to call her. The way she casually says bold things without feeling embarrassed, even during a call, continues to amaze Sakida. When he goes quiet for a moment, Akira gently calls his name, and he casually replies that he will think about it. She simply says she is already waiting for him. Just then, he hears some background music and asks if she's outside. Akira replies that she's currently standing outside a convenience store, smoking. She explains that she came out because she wanted to buy something. Kalki is surprised at how confidently she talks about things like this while being in public, but he doesn't say anything and instead tells her to be careful since it's getting late. Akira responds that she will be careful. He then mentions how she usually doesn't go out much and asks if there's something specific she wants to buy. Without hesitation, she replies that she thought they might need a few things for tomorrow. When he asks what she means, she calmly replies. Kuki's mind goes blank for a second, completely caught off guard by her blunt honesty. She then casually asks what kind of condoms she should get. Panicking, he almost yells that she doesn't need to buy anything like that. Seeing his reaction, she apologizes and admits that she doesn't really know much about this kind of stuff. He gently explains that while those things are useful, they probably won't need them tomorrow. He also adds that he doesn't want other people seeing her buy something like that, and if they do end up needing it, he'll be the one to buy it. He assures her that one day they'll have all those kinds of things ready, but for tomorrow it's not necessary. Akira then calmly asks if he's saying this because he doesn't want other guys seeing her in that situation. He shyly replies that it's really hard for him to express something like that openly. Kuki is surprised when Akira replies that she also has the same feelings as he does. She continues that there is no need to be sorry, and tomorrow she will be fully his. Even though Kuki walks daily toward Akira's house, today he is feeling really nervous, which he, himself, finds a bit feminine. After ringing the bell to her house, he cheerfully wishes her good morning, but to his surprise, she greets him with a really somber expression. He instantly gets concerned seeing her bad mood and asks if he has made a mistake. She replies that it is not that, and she just got a message from the editor asking her to draw the cover of the magazine at the last moment. Looking really apologetic, she assures him that she will try to complete it quickly. Despite her concerns, Kuki looks happy to hear that she is drawing the cover and instantly wants to know about the theme. He dismisses his own question, realizing that it would be like giving a spoiler. Akira chuckles at his antics, asking if he is actually a big fan of her story. He realizes his mistake and quickly apologizes for getting excited when she has to work. To his surprise, Akira replies that her feelings just got stronger for him. Koki gasps because of the shock, while Akira just casually tells him to wait outside while she works in another room so she doesn't get distracted by him. Koki gives her his best wishes, and once she goes inside, he keeps thinking to himself how she is a completely different person when she is not burdened by the work. He then goes around to sit on the sofa, but suddenly realizes that he forgot to call Akira by the name he decided. He had planned to say it instantly when he arrived, but seeing her bad mood, it completely slipped out of his mind. At this point, he is starting to worry that it is becoming more difficult. After thinking about it for a moment, he decides to make coffee for her, and then just say the name casually so it wouldn't be a big deal. Just then, he notices all the empty wrappers of energy bars in the bin. Inside the room, Akira is talking to Tamako on the phone, who sounds really happy that she has finished the work before the deadline. On the other hand, Akira is just annoyed and wants the seniors at the company to scold the editor. After finishing her work at almost 2 p.m. in the afternoon, Akira walks out of the room, worried that Sakita-kun must be getting really anxious now. When she steps outside, an amazing aroma hits her before she notices him standing in the kitchen. Kuki hasn't noticed her presence and is murmuring to himself if Akira will like hamburgers because it was the only thing he thought would be suitable to cheer someone up. Suddenly, he feels a warm presence on his back, making him feel like he is engulfed by happiness. When he glances to the side, he finds her back hugging him, with her chin resting on his shoulder. She first apologizes for misunderstanding something and asks if he is her husband. When Koki denies that, she comments that it is really unfortunate and then picks up a plate of food. Glancing back at him, she announces that she loves his food and walks away. He just stands there, willing his heart to calm down while thinking to himself about how the home dates are the best. Once they finish eating, Akira thanks him for the food, saying that it was great. She continues the praises by adding how he is great at cooking too. Kuki, as expected, gets flustered by the compliments, but he is still happy that she liked it and offers to cook for her any time she wants. She further adds that he can also call her by her first name from now on. Shocked, he nervously asks why she is saying that, to which she replies that he had said her first name when he was mumbling to himself in the kitchen. It really surprised Koki that she had heard him when he was talking to himself. Even though he already knew she wouldn't get embarrassed by it, it is still a relief that she heard him because now he can easily call her that. Just then, Akira asks when he is going to call her name again, making this difficult for him again. Without waiting for a reply, she shoots another question at him, asking why he wants to use her first name. A little embarrassed, Koki replies that it is because he thinks she will feel happy hearing her first name from him. Staring ahead, Akira mumbles that she finally understands that Koki is the senior in the romances department, and it is a good thing to be called by the first name. Looking at him, she suddenly asks if he will also feel excited if she calls him by his first name. He instantly gets shy at the question and nervously replies that she will really like that. Akira just agrees with him and then asks if they should watch a movie now. Once he agrees with her, she walks toward the lounge, telling him that she has some good suggestions for movies. Soon they are both sitting on the couch, their legs almost touching, but Kuki is the only one who seems aware of how close they are sitting. He really admires Akira's struggles to find a perfect movie for him to watch, even though it is really difficult for him to focus on the screen. Unaware of his nervousness, Akira is completely focused on the movie. She comments on how the main character keeps moving forward even in difficult situations, noting that it aligns with the theme of her own manga. She then turns toward him and asks if he's enjoying the movie. Kuki, slightly frustrated by how she chose a movie that perfectly suits his taste, replies that he really likes it. Without warning, she raises her hand and gently strokes his cheek. Then she takes hold of his chin, turning his face toward her. Before he can fully grasp what's happening, she pushes him back onto the couch and leans over him. Just as the moment starts to intensify, a character in the movie suddenly shouts that it's not the right time and they should get back. Akira takes the line from the movie seriously and immediately pulls away from him, saying that it's still too soon for them to go that far. She sincerely apologizes, admitting that she got a little too excited. Kuki, overwhelmed with embarrassment, is unable to focus on the movie afterward. Instead, he quietly asks for the movie's name so he can watch it later at home. A few days later, they have their first date outside, and Kuki is really determined to make it a great date for Akira-san. As he walks toward their designated spot, he overhears two guys asking someone to go with them, and they will buy her anything she wants since she is really beautiful. He is wondering if they are teasing someone and just then realizes how they were supposed to meet here. When he takes another step further, he finds that it is Akira they are teasing. But she seems to be doing well as she shouts at them to go away. Seeing her act so confidently, Kuki is really impressed by her aura, finding her really great. He instantly realizes that he said that out loud, which has grabbed the attention of everyone. The guys seem to be annoyed by his presence, while Akira smiles brightly and walks toward him confidently. Before he can even greet her, she almost throws herself at him, wrapping her arms around him tightly in a warm hug. She instantly compliments his amazing looks while Kuki is just getting embarrassed by her public affection. Standing nervously in her hug, he whispers to the boys that she is his girlfriend. They just look irritated by his presence and walk away, saying that she is way out of his league. The harsh comments from the strangers have really dampened his mood. When Akira notices his bad mood, he nervously explains that the comments about them not matching each other have really gotten to him. Instead of disagreeing with him, Akira simply admits that they might not look like a great couple to others. Kuki doesn't get discouraged and just announces that he is not going to give up because he is sure that his feelings for her are stronger than everyone else's. Internally, he is telling himself to calm down quickly because this date will not be good if he is in a bad mood. As he walks forward, Akira murmurs to herself that his words are enough to make her love him. When they walk past a clothing store, she suggests that they visit the store before going to a cafe. Inside, they both try on the matching outfits while Kuki is really confused by her sudden change of plan. Akira replies that she just asked the salesperson to show her more clothes, and they will wear the matching outfit that will make them look like a great couple. After trying several different outfits, Akira wears an open shirt with a small skirt and gets a lot of praise from the salesgirl, who thinks this style really suits her. Meanwhile, Akira is not sure if something this girly will suit her. It reminds her of school, when she wore pants to school and everyone said that they suited her better than the skirts. At that time, she agreed that skirts didn't suit her personality well. Right now, Kuki looks extremely happy as he almost shouts how great she looks in that skirt. He adds that this style makes her look really adorable, and his heart is beating hard just seeing her like this. Akira bursts out into chuckles at his comment, murmuring how they were both worried about useless stuff. Her reaction is really confusing to Kuki, but he doesn't dwell on it and is just happy that she is enjoying herself. Soon, they are both sitting in a cafe, where Akira asks if he will get embarrassed if she decides to feed him something. Kuki confidently replies that it is okay and gently takes the bite from her hand. People sitting at the table next to them are murmuring among themselves about how the two make a great couple. Kuki is just happy about not feeling completely embarrassed by her actions now. When Kuki visits Sensei's house on the next workday, he is welcomed by a very hostile woman who instantly declares that she doesn't like him. Confused, he just normally greets them and gets an excited reply from Akira, who is working on her computer. The girl angrily tells him not to talk to Akira so informally. Our lad still has no idea who the girl is, and before Akira can even attempt to introduce the stranger, she rudely interrupts both of them. Since Kuki had not discussed it with her before he started dating Akira, she is really annoyed that he is interested in knowing her now. She finally decides to reveal her identity to an extremely confused Kuki. The girl introduces herself as Sakura and coldly adds that she needs to discuss something with him as Akira's friend. They are interrupted by Akira casually saying that she is not her friend. Sakura completely forgets him for a moment, as she instead starts crying, reminding Akira how they have been friends ever since they went to the same university. Akira calmly replies that since they have been together for a long time, they are actually best friends who share everything with each other. Sakura's sad tears instantly turn into happy tears as she tries to digest that she means this much to Akira. At her question about why she didn't say this before, Akira replies that she had never gotten the chance to say how important Sakura is. Koki is also really impressed by their friendship. Sakura seems to have gotten a new spirit as she reintroduces herself as Akira's best friend. Looking extremely happy, Sakura takes the full responsibility of being a best friend and asks Koki what his intentions are with her friends. Since Akira makes a lot of money at her young age, most of the guys approach her because of that. A few other guys only want to get access to her beautiful body. She announces that unless Koki proves that he is not after Akira for any of those reasons, he will not get accepted by her. Koki is feeling really under pressure when Akira comes to his rescue and tells her friend how, on their first date, Koki paid for his own clothes. He instantly agrees with her, clearly happy to find a reason that sounds natural. Sakura seems a little relieved to realize that he isn't interested in her for money. However, she suddenly recalls that they had referred to their time together as dates, which worries her. Never having experienced one before, she assumes that a date is when a couple goes out and does romantic things. Before Koki can correct her misunderstanding, Akira casually remarks that what they did already qualifies as that. In her flustered state, Sakura stumbles and falls to the ground. Koki immediately moves forward to help her up and gently explains that while most couples might behave that way, the two of them haven't interacted like that yet. Sakura, now visibly nervous, asks if they have held hands before. Remembering their first date, Koki replies that they did hold hands during their time together at home. Hearing this, Sakura is left in shock, declaring that it now looks like Koki is clearly after Akira, causing a stir. Koki quickly tries to calm the situation, insisting that she's overreacting. But Sakura ignores his attempt to explain and instead turns to Akira, urging her to think seriously about setting clear boundaries in the relationship. Without hesitation, Akira calmly replies that if Koki wants to, she's fine with him doing anything. She goes on to admit that she finds his body very attractive and has even caught him glancing at her a few times. Sakura is completely overwhelmed by the blunt honesty, but eventually accepts that this kind of openness is probably normal for couples in love. She finally admits that Koki doesn't look like the bad guy, and she knew this when Akira first told her that she was dating someone. It was just hard for her to admit that the friend who had spent Christmas with her had disappeared because of this relationship. Suddenly getting emotional, she runs away from there. Akira doesn't look worried at all as she assures Koki that Sakura will return since she left her clothes here. With a soft smile, he replies that despite having a slightly weird personality, it is clear that Sakura really cares for her friend. Just then, he realizes how familiar he finds her and asks if Sakura was the model for one of her characters. After finding out that his guess is right, he asks if he can take her autograph, but Akira refuses to help him in this department. After Sakura has run out of her apartment, they both rearrange the furniture she has messed up, while Akira reveals that her friend is the author of the manga called First Love in Tokyo. This new information is truly surprising for Koki since he has read the novel on Akira's recommendation and was really impressed by the story. After finding out that Sakura is one of the authors he likes, is the model of a character in his favorite manga, and is also a friend of his girlfriend, he is really determined to get on better terms with her. He is just worried that Sakura will not return after running out like that, but Akira assures him that her friend will come back soon. Just as expected, Sakura soon returns to their doorstep, shivering from the extremely cold weather. She instantly apologizes, explaining that she couldn't stay outside without her jacket, and even though this is kind of weird, she just wants to get warm. Koki gives her the jacket while offering to give her a cup of hot tea. Receiving such kind treatment from him, Sakura gasps in shock, asking if he has feelings for her. Both Koki and Akira are left confused by her statement. When Koki asks why she got that impression, she quickly explains that she just created a lot of mess here, but he is still being so nice to her. She doesn't give him a chance to reply and just says that even though she is pretty, she can't betray her friend like that. Baffled, Koki quickly tries to clarify the situation while Akira just bursts into laughter at the situation. Seeing her reaction, Koki is worried that she might misunderstand everything, while Sakura once again drives her own meanings, asking if her friend is awkward with dating two people at the same time. Again, Koki weakly attempts to clarify everything, saying that he does want something from her, but it is not romantic. Sakura asks if it is not romantic, does he want a physical relationship with her? At this point, Koki is just really annoyed by her antics. Akira finally comes to his rescue, saying that he has to say everything clearly or her friend will keep getting the wrong meaning. Koki realizes that he should just be straightforward and tells Sakura that he is a fan of her writing. Sakura is really embarrassed to know that he is her fan and doesn't know how to react to that. Seeing her casual reaction, Akira is confused about why she doesn't look very happy. Sakura replies that she is excited to find a fan, but she is just worried that Akira might find it weird that her boyfriend likes another author better. Akira confidently replies that it is not a big deal since she knows he likes her the most. She further adds that even if someone has stolen him from her, she is confident that she will get him back. Both her friend and boyfriend are impressed by her cool tone. Sakura continues that if she is okay with it, then it is okay for her to chat with her fan for a bit. As they continue chatting, Sakura is really embarrassed when Koki keeps praising her novel. She doesn't think it was that great, but Koki insists that the story was really interesting. She also finds it a bit strange that he wants to get an autograph from a person who was an inspiration for a character. Before he can reply, she adds that she understands his love for the character, since Akira mostly uses the people around her as references, turning the actual people into the characters of her story. She also notes that the new character in Akira's story is inspired by her boyfriend. Koki is amazed that she has figured that out, while Sakura replies that the character resembles him a lot. Seeing them while talking, Sakura unintentionally slaps his shoulder, but suddenly her hand is caught in a strong grip. Behind her, Akira casually comments that she is happy they are chatting with each other, but she will get jealous if someone else dares to touch her boyfriend. Sakura instantly apologizes to her friend and is ready to do anything to unbuffer him. Akira just casually replies that he is not angry with her. On another workday, Koki is trying his best to draw something but seems to be struggling a lot. Later, when he is sitting beside Akira, she asks if something is bothering him. He is surprised to know that she can tell how he is feeling and quickly apologizes for acting strange toward her. Akira just replies that he shouldn't underestimate her and says that she instantly knew something was wrong when she saw his drawing. Leaning back in her chair, she asks what is bothering him. He replies that it is not a big deal that she has to spend a lot of time on it, since they have already finished their work and it is her off time. He is surprised, but Akira replies that in her private life, the most important thing is for her to talk with her dear boyfriend. Soon they are sitting on the couch as Koki shares his problems with her. Akira is surprised to know that he is having an issue making different characters. Koki replies that he wants to post a manga, but he is really struggling to draw the main character. Akira explains that when she is drawing a character, she usually takes normal people as a reference, but this method might not work for everyone. She adds that there are other ways to draw different and good characters, and the most suitable one is using gaps. At his confused reaction, she explains that it is like creating a character who really does catch attention or a girl who looks extremely beautiful when she takes off her glasses. Even though this style is not something new, it is still very useful. He is seriously thinking about her suggestions while Akira stands up, saying that they should do some activity related to that. When he asks her what she means, she adds that he doesn't know what she actually looks like when she is at home alone. Akira explains that even though she is not someone who easily gets embarrassed, when she is left alone, she feels really nervous. She suddenly gets excited as she stands up from the couch, loudly declaring that as a senior, she will do her best to act like that. Up to this point, Koki was getting really flustered seeing her act like that, but her demeanor suddenly changed as she asked him if this kind of thing would be really adorable. He places a hand on his fastly beating heart as he declares that for a minute, he thought she was being serious. Standing confidently, Akira replies that she really admires her own acting skills, and in reality she doesn't have this kind of adorable personality. She sits back on the couch, saying that if he adds these kinds of gaps, he can put more emphasis on the different qualities of the characters. He can also keep this in mind while he is drawing his characters. Koki agrees with her, saying that he will try to add more qualities to his simple characters, and thanks her, finally understanding something. Akira is smiling brightly as she replies that she is happy to hear that. Koki nervously adds that the person she is on a daily basis is more adorable than everything else. His heart is beating extremely fast after giving the compliment, while Akira is really excited to see him act like that. She emphasizes how gaps are great, since usually he is really shy to say things like this, but when he is really desperate, he can perfectly convey his feelings. This is the thing that attracts her towards him, and she assures him that he has nothing to worry about, since she also finds herself quite adorable. Once again feeling shy, Koki changes the topic by assuring her that he will follow her advice and will work hard on the story. A few days after Valentine's Day, Akira is holding a meeting in a lavish cafe where she wants to learn how to make great chocolate that will make her boyfriend really happy. Sitting in front of her, Kakami looks really excited as she shouts that she can't wait to test it and is really amazed by how her senior has borrowed the whole place. The other person, Sakura, is really confused to see her like that. Kakami quickly introduces herself, saying that she is Akira's editor and also likes Sakura's stories. A little embarrassed, Sakura replies that it is really great to meet her. Kakami continues talking, saying that she is here to test the food that Akira will make. Hearing this, Sakura rushes to her friend and asks if she has forgotten how bad her cooking is. She reminds Akira of all the bad cooking experiences they had during their student life and also asks if it is okay for an editor to taste food like that. Akira confidently replies that she is well aware of her cooking skills and has invited Kakami here so she won't feel guilty feeding food to someone. Just then, Kakami interrupts, saying how it is really bad that they don't have any games here, and announces that since she is getting bored, she will just start singing. Without waiting for any approval, Kakami just starts singing at the top of her voice, and Sakura finally understands why Akira has invited her here as a taster. Ignoring her, the two of them start working on making the love chocolate, and Sakura asks her friend what exactly she wants to make. She adds that she herself is pretty good at handmade chocolate. Hearing that, Akira comments on how Sakura also has great feminine traits. Sakura just chuckles nervously, rushing off the compliment, while Akira shifts the topic. She explains that she wants to make a chocolate so good that just one bite of it will make her boyfriend really happy and want to hug her tightly. Sakura coldly replies that this kind of love doesn't exist, then adds that even if they somehow manage to make such a chocolate, Kakami will still be the first one to taste it. Akira is also slightly worried about how disastrous that could be. As they move forward, Sakura announces that they'll make some chocolate truffles. She explains that first, they need to cut the chocolate into pieces and put them in bowls. Akira is surprised since she thought they had just made the chocolate. Sakura continues, explaining that after that, they need to pour in some heated fresh cream and mix it all until it turns a little creamy. Then they'll need to put the mixture in the freezer for 30 minutes and shape it once it comes out. Seeing that they had both finished putting the mixture in the fridge, Kakami happily announced that since they were free now, they should go outside for a cigarette. Akira agreed to smoke with her, and as the two of them lit their cigarettes, Sakura looked at her in surprise and asked if she still smoked. Akira replied that she had stopped smoking at home because it might affect Kokiri's health, even though she knew things like that didn't really exist. Instead of joining them for a smoke, Sakura decided to take a nap for a while. An hour later, the two of them returned, only to find the mixture in the fridge completely messed up. Sakura is feeling really guilty for sleeping that long, to which Akira replies that she didn't want to wake her up, so she decided to cut the chocolate by herself. Sakura is genuinely impressed to see that her friend actually took the initiative to cook. But just then, she glances to the side, only to see their taster, Kakami, trembling while sitting on the couch. They both approach Kakami with the burnt chocolate, and to their surprise, she keeps praising how good it tastes. Akira is finding it hard to believe that Kakami actually likes the truffles she made. Hearing her comment, Sakura asks why she ruined the truffles when she was doubtful about the taste. They are both interrupted by Kakami shouting that she should forget about all the times she has shifted her deadlines. Akira finds her deal really strange but doesn't comment on it, and instead says how she still has to make more attempts at making it. Again, getting ready to work, Sakura tells Akira to make the chocolate she had just made. On Valentine's Day, Akira presents Koki with the chocolate she has made for him. He is really happy to receive such a warm gift and sincerely thanks her for the effort. Akira is excited that he likes her gift and explains how Sakura has helped her in cooking, but it is made with her love, which is why it is really sweet. At her bold statements, he comments that all these embarrassing comments from her might melt this chocolate. She just tells him not to focus on it and just starts eating. Meanwhile, in the editing office, someone offers Kakami a chocolate, but she refuses to eat it, looking traumatized just at the mention of it. Cookie is telling a story about how once there was an author who was drawing a horror story about a slit-mouthed woman. Every day, he spends a lot of time writing that manga. One day, when he was walking back home, he heard some strange noise and was attacked by the same woman he was drawing. After finishing the story, he adds how hearing this type of story really confirms that drawing different characters is like manifesting them in reality. In reply to his story, Akira just keeps staring at him weirdly, which instantly makes him realize that she might be scared. When he keeps apologizing for telling a story while they are working, Akira replies that she is not angry with him and is just too afraid to say anything. Just then, there is the sound of loud thunder from outside, which only makes Koki more guilty for telling a story like that. He once again apologizes for not being considerate enough. Once again, Akira assures him that it doesn't affect her, and she will stay with him no matter how many horror stories he tells. Still feeling guilty, Koki declares that he won't tell any more horror stories to her. Internally, he is feeling like the worst boyfriend and assistant to her, as he has told a scary story to someone who was really afraid. Akira keeps assuring him that she is fine, and because her memory is really not great, she has already forgotten about the things he told her. She suddenly changes the topic, asking him to come up with descriptions of zombies they can add in the manga. Kuki is shocked to know she still remembers her story and tries to assure her that zombies don't exist in real life. He adds that even if there are some zombies, she has nothing to worry about because he will fight them for her. At his statement, Akira reminds him how the zombies in her manga are really big and have great weapons. He tiredly replies that they are just unusually strong, while thinking to himself what he can do to reassure her. Just then, there is a loud thunder from outside, and the lights go out in the studio. While they sit in the dark, Akira mumbles that the zombies are going to murder them. Kuki is surprised to hear her talk so weakly and quickly takes out his phone to turn on the light. He instantly flashes the light toward Akira, wanting to know if she is all right. To his surprise, Akira is sitting on the ground, looking really scared. Koki quickly slides in front of her and gently wraps his arm around her. Gently patting her back, he keeps assuring her that everything is going to be fine. While sitting in his embrace, Akira gently mumbles that he has never hugged her before. A little embarrassed, he replies that it is the only appropriate thing to do in this situation. She continues that if he hugs her like that whenever she is afraid, she will gladly hear the horror stories. Kuki is happy to hear the compliments. Just then, the lights come back on, and he quickly pulls away from her. Akira doesn't want to let go of the hug and raises her arm so she can hug him again. Instead of replying to her, he shouts that they have lost all the data because of the power cut. She just casually comments that it was a great horror experience of her life. With the background music, Kuki is happily cooking something in his kitchen when he receives a call from Akira. Excited, he picks up her call, asking what she wants. In reply, she asks him about his mother's favorite food. He is a little surprised to hear that, but replies that she might like miso soup. When he asks why she wants to know that, Akira tells him that his mother is visiting her house at the moment. He is shocked to hear that and instantly gets ready to go to her house. Soon he reaches Akira's place, breathing heavily as he stares at his mother casually talking with Akira. His mother seems surprised to know that he is good at drawing. Akira tells her that her son's drawings are great, and it makes the stories great. When his mother finally spots him, she greets him excitedly. Koki almost shouts at his mother, asking why she's here when he never even gave her the address to the house. His mother calmly replies that she sent a fan letter to Akira, telling her that she's his mother, and got a reply with the address on it. Kuki doesn't argue further, saying that he understands why Akira gave her the address. His mother happily says that Akira told her she could visit any time she wants. Akira smiles and replies that she's truly happy to have her here. As someone who raised such an amazing person, she had always wanted to meet her at least once in her life. Both women are completely ignoring him, and Kuki feels deeply embarrassed by their conversation. His mother chuckles softly, saying she didn't do anything special. He just grew up so quickly without her even noticing. She then adds that the only reason Kuki is living so well is because of Akira-san. Before she can say anything more, Koki tries to stop her, but she continues, saying that was the real reason she came here. Then, as if suddenly realizing something, his mother shouts, shocked, that he has rushed into a girl's home at night without even getting an invite from her, which is really shameful. Kuki is really embarrassed to be scolded like that in front of his girlfriend, but once again, no one seems to pay him any mind. Trying to shift the focus, he asks his mother why she's thanking Akira for his well-being. His mother replies that her husband passed away a long time ago, and ever since then, she's been a single mother raising Koki on her own. Because of her busy life, she barely had time to spend with him, and as a result, Koki ended up spending a lot of time alone. Feeling a little awkward, he tries to clarify that it wasn't a burden on him, since he knows she had a much harder life. His mother simply adds that it's fortunate he grew up to be such a good boy. She recalls how, when he finished high school, they didn't even get a proper chance to sit down and talk about his career path. She remembers visiting his school for the parent-teacher meeting and learning that he had already decided to work. On the drive back home, she asked him if he really wanted to start working, because she knew he had always dreamed of drawing ever since he was a child. Koki replied that it was fine, that drawing was just a hobby, and what he really wanted was for her to finally relax a little in life. At that time, she had felt really guilty for being a bad parent, but not long after, Koki came to her with a very determined expression and announced that he wanted to become a manga author. He explained how he had started reading a new story in a magazine that deeply impacted him. The story was so captivating that it reignited his passion for drawing. Soon after that, he found an ad in the same magazine looking for a manga assistant. He told his mother that he wanted to move to Tokyo to take the job, since living in the city would mean being on his own. He admitted that he felt a little embarrassed, knowing the small contributions he had been making to the family would decrease even more. But his mother wasn't bothered by that at all. She simply held him tightly and told him how grateful she was just for his presence. She was genuinely happy that he had finally shared his true dream with her and told him not to worry about money or anything else. And that, she says, is the reason she's thanking Akira now for taking care of her son. Sitting politely in front of Akanabe-sensei, she gently holds her hand again and sincerely thanks her for looking after Koki. All this conversation is making Koki really nervous, and he decides to escape by hiding in the bathroom for a while. When he finally comes back, he finds both women laughing together as his mother shares an embarrassing story from his childhood with Akira. He almost shouts in frustration, asking why they've suddenly changed the topic. But his mother just waves it off, saying that the story is too good not to tell people. He is baffled to realize that his mother has apparently told this same story to others before. Looking at him with amusement, Akira says it's actually really fun to hear about her boyfriend's childhood stories. Flustered, Koki mutters that he just wanted her to hear normal stories. In the middle of their back and forth, neither of them notices right away that Akira has accidentally let it slip, calling him her boyfriend in front of his mother, effectively revealing their relationship.